by installing that hardware, I was able to see Akubi. I was able to know my own mind better. Being a librarian, there's so many memories I have, so much knowledge that Akubi could display on the screen to me. And I ran, chasing after this bright light. It was incredible. I ran for the better part of the night. Gone were any thoughts of being tired. I left the helmet off and just moved with it, allowed myself to be lost in the radio freedom of the night. The night really is the time for any kind of traffic. That's the best time to be sending signal. That's the best time for any broadcast. The nighttime is the best time. Which is true when you think about it. I mean, how many different people exist at night that don't exist during the day? Some people say that darkness is a bad thing. I don't think it is. I think light is extremely judgmental. Passes judgment, reveals all these things, but for those of us that are too weak to protect ourselves from the savagery of the light, the nighttime folds around us and gives us shelter when there is none other. People talk about Mother Night, and it's so true. Shielding and protecting us from all those hideous revelations that come during the day. At night, people are more at ease. They feel better. The strain is not there. There's not so much stress at night as there is during the daytime. There's more freedom. Maybe it's because you're more anonymous, because of the lack of light, I don't know, but as I thundered through the desert, my legs pumping, all these thoughts came through me as I stayed focused on the changing light of my guide, this little fairy. I crested over a hill, and there before me was a broken tower. There was a spike out here. A radio spike was out here in the middle of nowhere, and Akubi knew it. He knew it. I guess I knew it. Maybe there's something to this gut response. I stood there amazed, and the light flew back in and flew into the tower as though it was his hive. The tower had snapped off due to wind, but it was easily repairable. It had faltered at one of the joints I could see from here. And I was just amazed. I was probably more amazed that it was actually here, that I was actually looking at it. It was incredible. There was a little shack, not too big. Had some, looked like car hoods and car parts. Some old skulls and bones that had been glued to it or nailed to it for decoration. It's just a hovel, really, a real hole. I don't think anyone ever lived there. I think it was just there for a broadcast site. There's some writing on the wall, but the sand and the wind and the sun had burned it off. Don't know what it had said. It was probably the call sign to whatever station, whatever pirate station this was. And I was amazed. I was amazed that this thing was here. Akubi was right. There was a spike out here. And so I crawled down. I was a lot less careful than I should have been. Realistically, I should have scoped in on this thing for a couple of hours before I closed with it, but I didn't. I guess I was caught up in the moment. Not too smart. But as it stands, there was nothing there. I went down. There was a rusted lock on the door, which meant that there was no one inside. There's no way that you could replace this lock. I did a quick lap around to see there was no other entrance. There was just one door. Grabbed hold of the lock, and I just put a little bit of pressure on it. The lock just came apart in my hands. Rain, rust, and rot had done its damage to all the metal workings. And I went inside. And that's where I am right now. I'm sitting inside of a little shack, looking at a whole bunch of dusty, dirty radio equipment. A set of burned out headphones. A chair that's here is cracked leather. I think when I sat down it split a seam, but I don't really mind so much. Luckily it's on wheels, so I can find room to get my legs to stretch out. And so this is where I'm at right now. That's how I got here. It's thanks to Akubi and following the light in my mind and my newfound skills. So I figure I don't know what's going to happen when I try to go online. I I don't know what's going to happen when I try to jack into the web with all my additional hardware that's been put in. So I figured I'd do another broadcast before I got underway with setting this place up. Now sitting here calmly without my helmet on, I'm feeling pretty tired. Probably get some sleep, and then tomorrow I'll try to repair this tower and get online, see if I can get any more data about X and about the Kingdom of Nod. Gotta keep you informed. Gotta keep you up to date, I guess, on what's happening. Well, I guess that's pretty much it for me right now. This is Independent Librarian Dynamic, Sean Kennedy VI. Doing a pirate broadcast of episode number 732.653.663.398.36.15 in Queen's English from Sometime After Now. Thanks for listening. Thanks for caring about this. I don't know what the future will hold for me. I don't even know if I'm going to make it through doing another hook-in online. I don't think I've ever seen a Dreadman online, so I don't know if it'll kill me or what. But for some reason it doesn't bother me. Somehow I feel like no matter what, that's all borrowed time, and I should just be happy to exist right now. My future's uncertain, but your future isn't. If you're listening to this in the past, there's things happening every day around you, all day, that forces are vying for your attention. Forces are trying to manipulate you into creating this world, because you're going to create this world. There are no financial forces or political forces that are going to create this. It's the everyday person that does. So if you hear this, you want to stop this from happening, you can, just by making little decisions every day. By doing this, you're helping the world, and you're helping me. Please help me.
First, the polarity of the neutron flows of the TARDIS would be free of the force field.